I've seen that.
Well, me neither.
Continue. Welcome into the rundown with Exposure Baseball and the guy, the man, the legend, the myth, Brandon Turner. Brandon, I think we've said that you're not really legendary yet, right? You got big shoes to fill with your dad, so
Not
it's
even
okay
close.
for Exposure Baseball. You're legendary.
Yeah. I don't even know about that.
So, yeah, well, just accept the hype. Accept the hype. We'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's very hot outside, and because it's very hot outside, it makes me think of summer baseball, and we are off and rolling. Man, I'm seeing tweets like crazy, all kinds of social media stuff out there, highlights and news and all that. So let's me stop talking, and let's you start talking. Let's talk about the teams first. Tell me what we got going with Exposure Baseball this summer.
Yeah, I mean, we're off to a good start. I'll tell you, the big thing is we're starting to get all our players with us. At the beginning, even like with their older teams, you got Baylor still in it, Science Hill was still in it. So the first weekend for, especially our 17 and even 16U teams, we weren't definitely at full strength. But we're starting to get everybody back out there. Everybody's starting to get healthy here. But yeah, so far it's been good. Our 13U, Exposure 13U group, they've done a really good job. Their first two tournaments here. Coach Krob, Coach Pridmore, they do a really good job with them having energy and so forth. And been really happy with, the way that they've done. On that group, Carter Hensley, he's their main arm. He does a really good job on the mound. He's got a lot of projection to him, left-handed pitcher. Vance Wilburn has also been honestly one of their better overall players in the sense of swinging the bat, doing a lot of different things. Jake Jackson had a home run yesterday in the playoffs that helped them advance. Bo Cooper's going to be a really good player. He's a guy that every time you see him, or you used to see him and say, okay, he does a lot of things right. When he gets bigger, he's going to, really blossom here. And he's starting to get bigger, and you're starting to see him kind of take off here. Brett Oxford was really good in relief this past weekend. Same thing with Gavin Brock. He was good in relief. So they're doing a lot of things well. They're getting a lot of contributions. Caden Strickland, Scotty Miller both had really good starting outings there. So 13U, really proud of them so far. Looking forward to the rest of the summer for them. 13U Prime, Hefner, they played one tournament. They finished runner-up down there in South Carolina against a really good squad. And you know how 13U is. One key is having guys that are older, grad year older, but they can play down.
Yes.
And they ran into that buzzsaw there a little bit. But Joey Sulish, Brooks Berry, Nash Spurgeon, Luke Lawson, you could go on and on. We got a lot of guys, Hendrickson, we've got a lot of guys that are doing really well on that group. This upcoming weekend, is kind of their first time to jump back in it, other than the South Carolina weekend and then being at University of Tennessee. So looking forward to that. 14U Prime, they are a group that when they're ready to play, when they're prepared mentally and so forth, they can be a really good team. Just like anybody that's 14 years old, that comes with time, hopefully. But so far, Nick Gibson and Cash Keene, those two have been kind of the table setters. Cash Keene's going to be a really, really good player. He's a really good shortstop. We talk about this a lot too. When you look at somebody like Cash, the way he wears his uniform, the way he walks around, the way he holds himself, you can tell, who has an idea of the way you're supposed to look, the way you're supposed to carry yourself, and so forth. So Cash has a really good future. Carson Davis, he's actually been swinging it really well. Had a big double yesterday in the playoffs. Nick Gibson actually had a walk-off. Carson Flint was really good on the mound and also swung it really well. 14U Black, one kid right now that's kind of, opening our eyes and continues to do a lot of really good things is Jackson Humble. He's an undersized kid, but again, he knows how to play the game. He plays hard, does everything you ask him to do. And I mean, he had a ton of hits, this past weekend. So we're really excited about him. He's starting to really blossom here. Bronson Stone's another one, threw really well. And he's also been one of their main guys. So those two guys right there are sticking out for them. Moving forward, the 15U Prime shirts, they had so many teams that were still, or players that were playing. We had to move their first tournament. So the only thing they've done is at Tennessee. But obviously it's a loaded lineup. It's the team that got beat in the national championship last year. And, you could go on. Lucas Bachner, Henry Allen committed to Mississippi State. Brennan Siegler committed to Tennessee. Landis Sevilla committed to Virginia Tech. Timblin is going to be a really good player from Signal Mountain, Ben Timblin, and we're excited about him. He keeps getting bigger and stronger, so looking forward to following him as we progress here. 15U Prime, a couple guys, or actually 3 or 4 guys that are really starting to kind of jump onto the scene, getting a lot of interest, with coaches reaching out to me, asking questions. Is Brody Johnston from Boyd Buchanan, Nolan Sargent from Macaulay, Ty Barnett from McMahon, and Micah Jordan. He got banged up. I've already gotten on him. He got banged up at basketball, but he was really rolling there. So looking forward to getting him back. Cole Pippinger, top 30 player in the country in the 2025 class. He plays up. So again, I mean, he's a big time anchor for them. But overall, that we've been really pleased with all of them, especially on the mound. Ethan Porterfield continues to, pound the zone. His velocity keeps going up. He's under control. I mean, he's doing a really good job, and we're proud of Ethan. But I could go on and on with that group. There's probably 6 or 7 others that I can say their name. 15U Black, Alex Brew. He's their main guy on the mound. He's their main guy at the plate. He's the guy that kind of leads them on both sides there. And Alex is going to be a really good player. He has a feel for the game and just a great kid. So really excited for him. Braxton Vineyard, Hank Adams, Hunter McDonald, Connor Thomas. Connor Thomas is, he came in the other day yesterday through 4 or 5 scoreless innings. He's also kind of been an energizer for them. He's their the guy that gets everybody motivated and so forth. So really happy for him. But like I said, Braxton, Hank, Hunter, those guys have done a good job defensively. Had some good at bats here and there, and they continue to get better. Deron Watson's another one that had a really good last game yesterday. Moving on to the 16U Prime Ricketts. Brady Smith, he's been 88-90. I mean, he's been as good as you can ask for. He's starting to get a lot of attention here, and really happy for him. Jacob Tobias, another one that continues to swing. It's all he does from Hickson. Left-handed hitter, big, strong, physical kid. He's getting a lot of interest. Joey LaMattina had a really good couple of days there at University of Tennessee. Sam Cecil had a really good couple of days. Aiden Tipton continues to throw it, do some other things well. So those guys in that team have been good. 16U Prime Ricketts, they got beat in the playoffs the week before, but like I said, still a really good showing. Moving on to the 16U Prime or 16U Black, excuse me. Cole Smith, he swung it really well. Gage Shaver swung it really well, and Jackson Steele and Reese Jordan, those have kind of been the guys that have led them offensively. Evan Hood, Asher Skiles, Jaden Miller, Sean Ball, those have kind of been the guys that anchor on the mound. So they had a really good weekend. They went 4-1 this past weekend. Ran into we had an injury with our catcher, Hudson Couch, which Hudson's one of our main guys and has been for a long time. And thankfully, no broken thumb, no fracture, anything like that, just a few stitches. So looking forward to getting him back. 16U Silver, 2 players from the 16U Silver that are going to be really good. These are just 2 that we're going to highlight is Caden Adsit and Nick Hoback. those two are kind of their main. They run off them. You know, and Caden and Nick both had really big weekends. Brendan Korn threw it well. Had a couple of hits. Landon Hammock, he did a good job behind the plate catching wise. Taylor Hughes also on the mound did a really good job. So, like I said, that's the 16U silver, 16U prime. John Emmendorfer continues to swing it really well. Tyler Goddard, he's a guy that really pitches a lot for his high school. Didn't get to swing it too much, but he's been really good. Landon Franklin, Kentucky commit, he continues to do really well. Turner Junkins, MTSU commit, another guy that continues to do both sides really well. He had a really good outing on the mound. Gage Peterson, he's a Tri-City kid from up in Johnson City. He had a really good outing. Like I said, Turner, Landon Skeen had another good showing. Also threw it really well the other day at Tennessee. And then Brogan Jones. Those have been kind of the leaders on that group. Caleb Hampton had a home run the other day, South Carolina commit, so it's good to see him starting to get it rolling here. Lastly, just moving on to the 17U. Walker Strange is kind of a Lipscomb commit. He's been their leader. He's been the reason why they've had a lot of success, especially in the last tournament. Bryce Hubbard, Mississippi State commit, has been swinging it well. Jackson Diamond, Wyatt Fuchs, two guys that have consistently had really good at-bats. ETSU commit, Cooper Castile. He's now got two really good outings. Ollie Aikens, the MTSU commit, didn't throw the first our first tournament because they were in the state tournament. Was dominant in the playoffs the other day against 643. So it's good to see him. I think he went 6 innings, complete game, 10 strikeouts, something like that. And then another MTSU commit, Patrick Johnson there from Baylor, threw it really well the other day. So good to see that. On the black, arm-wise, Dalton Gray, Gray Williams. At the plate, we got Ryan Langford, Colin Hornbuckle. Connor Martin threw it really well their first tournament. So, again, we got some guys that are doing some really good things on there. And then lastly, the 17U silver. It's actually a group that I'm excited about. You got AJ Berry, Tyler Tamler, Lane Brooks, Andrew Stewart, Blake Shelton, and you've got a lot of other ones. But they get rolling this week. They played this last week at Tennessee, but again, they're about to roll in here to their first tournament. So looking forward to getting out and seeing them play. But obviously, a lot of names rambled off there, but for us, we've been happy with the way that a lot of our guys have played, and look forward to kind of continuing on here in the summer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the summer and the fall. That's you guys, and having been a part of that for a long time, it is just blowing and going. I mean, it is 100 miles an hour all over the place. Now with Alabama having the facilities that they have, it gives you more options. And man, you got to keep up with all that stuff. You're almost like the almighty Oz. It's so funny. I would coach for you, and you weren't there, but you were watching that game. And I would got to get a text, and I know that you're having to keep up with several games at once. So, but that's great because it gives you that personal touch on that. And I would go back and I had planned to talk to you about some individuals, but that's silly. You always throw so many names out there. Yeah. But I do like the fact that we hear so many the same names over and over. Those guys, the Buckners and the Pippingers and those guys. But then there's also new names coming out there. So always looking for guys, always looking to improve, and eXposure just got it rolling. So speaking of that, guys that we got going on, big weeks for some alumni for their College World Series. Got eXposure looks like it's definitely going to be represented, maybe even represented by a couple more, depending on how the games come out. But we already know that Vanderbilt and Tennessee are going to be there. So even more for eXposure. Just keep rolling.
Yep. No, we're definitely proud of them. Dallas Baptist, they I think they're 2-1 right now. I'd like to see Sosa and Craig and Keckley get in there to Omaha. But like you said, summer's it's a full go. We follow literally every single game by every single pitch, and it's good for us to, like you said, see a lot of other guys that are continuing to take big steps, continuing to get better. So definitely looking forward to seeing who's going to have a really good week this upcoming week. But obviously, as always, we appreciate you. And like I said, looking forward to continuing to roll here.
Yep. Well, you guys will be, all over the place. So we don't want to even say where aren't you guys going to be this weekend all over the South. But I know they get heated up. Got national tournament and finding out how eXposure does and how the guys do. And hope everything goes well. Did I miss anything?
Nope, I think that's it. Obviously, we've had a little bit of internet being unstable, but like I said, glad to be able to get these names out. And like I said, looking forward to moving forward here.
That's what it's all about. All right, for the King, Brandon Turner. This is Greg Payne. This has been the rundown with eXposure Baseball. Everybody have a good week.